What really drives societies, shapes governments, and defines our freedoms. Welcome to a journey through the evolving theories of power. At its core, power is the capacity to influence behavior, whether through formal authority or persuasive informal channels effectively. Formal authority derives from institutional positions, laws, complex structured hierarchies, and rules that clearly legitimize decision-making within societies. Informal influence unfolds through public opinion, cultural norms, and social networks that sway hearts and minds behind the scenes. In governance, power ultimately determines who crafts public policies, how they're effectively enforced, and which social communities bear the consequences. Max Weber viewed power as the ability to influence behavior despite resistance, distinguishing coercion, mocked, from accepted authority, autorité. Robert Dahl famously defined power. A has power over B to make B do something B wouldn't otherwise do. Talcott Parsons framed power as social coordination, a resource enabling systems to achieve collective goals and maintain stability. Antonio Gramsci introduced hegemony, power wielded through ideology and culture, shaping consent via institutions like media and education. Harold Lasswell summarized politics as who gets what, when, and how, highlighting power's role in distributing resources and policies. In sum, power permeates politics, law, and society, not merely through dominance, but via authority, coordination, hegemony, and resource allocation. Next, let's explore ancient Greece, where power was envisioned as a moral vessel for justice, virtue, and ideal governance. Plato's ideal ruler, the philosopher-king, embodied wisdom, love of truth, and the capacity to guide citizens toward justice. Aristotle argued power must serve the common good, classifying regimes from monarchy to tyranny, based on virtue versus vice. Greek power prized reason and ethics, viewing authority as a moral instrument to cultivate virtuous citizens in social harmony. These Greek foundations became bedrock for Western political thought, influencing ideals of democracy, justice, and legitimate authority today. Shifting to Rome, power took on pragmatic institutional forms, anchored by rigorous codified laws and efficient, centralized governance. Cicero championed natural law and justice, insisting power must submit to reason and serve the common good of the Republic. Marcus Aurelius defined power as moral responsibility. Rulers should master themselves before governing others with integrity and wisdom. Julius Caesar wielded power pragmatically, extending citizenship, reforming land, strengthening administrative bureaucracy, and laying groundwork for systematic legal codification. Roman power emphasized stability, efficiency, and public service, transitioning from unwritten customs to universally applied systematic written laws. The Roman legal legacy, from the 12 Tables to Justinian's Corpus Juris Civilis, became the cornerstone of modern civil law systems. Now, the Middle Ages across Europe and Islam cast power as a divine mandate, intertwining theology with political authority. Augustine and Aquinas argued rulers derive authority from God, while secular law clashing with divine mandates proved illegitimate, sparking the investiture controversy. Al-Mawardi described power as a divine trust, asserting governments must uphold justice, protect religion, and ensure public welfare. Ibn Khaldun emphasized asabiya, or group solidarity, as the social force that births and sustains enduring political authority. Medieval power fused sacred legitimacy with social dynamics, creating complex tensions between spiritual and temporal authorities over governance. Transitioning to modernity, we witness power redefined through social contracts, shifting from divine right to legal, rational, popular legitimacy. Machiavelli urged rulers to prioritize state stability over moral idealism, endorsing pragmatic, strategic cunning and force when necessary. Hobbes depicted life without authority as a war of all against all, justifying absolute sovereignty to escape chaos. John Locke countered absolute rule, arguing governments draw power from the people and must protect individual natural rights. Montesquieu introduced the principle of separation of powers, legislative, executive, judicial, to prevent tyranny and ensure robust, balanced constitutional governance. Modern power rests on popular legitimacy, rule of law, and institutional checks, a central foundation for today's constitutional democracies. In the postmodern era, power dissolves into networks operating through discourse, symbols, media, and digital technological systems. Michel Foucault revealed power's subtle workings in institutions, schools, prisons, hospitals, through surveillance, normalization, and discourse-driven social knowledge production. Jean Baudrillard argued power now thrives on simulacra, images of reality that replace authenticity, manipulating perceptions via global digital media. Ultimately, modern power theory maps from moral ethics to law, theology, social contract, and fluid discourse, guiding governance today.